The Trump administration is shutting down an LGBTQ suicide prevention hotline, as statistics show that LGBTQ young people are 4 times more likely to contemplate suicide, with trans teens at highest risk. In a statement announcing the decision, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration notably removed the T, which represents the trans community. Quote, "The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline will no longer silo LGB plus youth services, also known as the Press 3 option, to focus on serving all help seekers, including those previously served through the Press 3 option." The CEO of the Trevor Project, the organization contracted to create and help run the hotline, calls this a devastating decision. They join me now. James Black, welcome. We should tell people Donald Trump signed the legislation that created this specialized service in the first place. So what's changed?
That is correct. This legislation in the specialized services was signed in October 2020 as part of the National Suicide Hotline Designation Act. And as part of that act, HHS, they were directed to develop specialized strategies for high-risk communities, veterans, Spanish speakers, and LGBTQ plus youth. And this was an evidence-based, data-backed decision, and it had strong bipartisan support, and everyone was so proud of it. And for the past 5 years, Congress has approved these funds over and over again without fail. What's changed? What's changed is that folks do not understand the statistics that you just read off. People have forgotten. Let's go to that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because they say, this is what the Trump administration says, look, they can still call the generalized hotline. What do you say?
I say no. So, for example, when a veteran calls their specialized hotline, they need to speak to someone who understands military stress. They need to PTSD, family separation, combat stress. When an LGBTQ plus youth calls the line, they need someone who understands LGBTQ plus youth stress and trauma, such as family rejection, homelessness. That is exactly why we had these specified lines with tailored interventions created, because tailored interventions actually increase their survival rate. And this is not about a special line or special treatment. This is about effective treatment.
And when you talk about the specialized needs that they have, the treatment that you get when you're an LGBTQ teen, what do you think the message is when you take the T out of something that is generally known, accepted, understood? And what are you hearing? What kinds of feedback are you getting on all of this?
Right. Well, let's just be clear. Removing a letter does not remove a community. Okay. And what it does tell our youth is that their lives do not matter. Their identities do not matter. We cannot politicize their identities. In fact, we need to actively depoliticize the identities of LGBTQ plus youth. And what we're hearing, the feeling that we're hearing the most is fear. Fear and outrage. Parents are outraged, supportive adults are outraged, but our youth, they are terrified.
Will people die, do you think?
Absolutely. I do not want to sugarcoat this. This is a fatal decision, and it's going to create a significant care gap with the youth who depend on these services year in and year out.